Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games, the Week in Games. We are exactly 1 week from Christmas Eve. This time next week, I'll be at Christmas Eve service, followed by some relative Christmasing before the big moment, Christmas morning, when all the presents are unwrapped. And I know Santa's been generous this year because I fund him, and he's kind of my shell account for board games. Thanks, Santa. But there's also a lot of good stuff coming on. I always love shopping for the kids and for the wife and getting good stuff and hiding it away. Always looking for something unique. Always trying to find something off the beaten path. We all have our lists. But it's fun when you can go, hey, I'll bet they didn't think they'd need that, and then they find out they do. Success rate, think Nemo's War. Nevertheless, it's worth a shot, right? Anyway, so let's get to the news. Okay, in the news today, it's 1 week before Christmas, as I said, which means that there's a lot of stuff that's kind of making its way to stores, but there's also a lot less time if you're ordering online. For example, Charterstone released, which is the curious legacy-style game where you play about 10 games of it, so about an hour a piece, so say 10 hours. And after 10 hours, you have more for the board physically and permanently to be able to have yourself your own kind of custom version of the game in perpetuity. Now, how that works, I don't know. My copy is both here and another one is arriving. And that one's under the Christmas tree. I'm sure of it. I detect the box dimensions very carefully. So we will find out about that one. The other one is Fallout the board game, which is selling like hotcakes, sold out everywhere. I managed to sell one of my copies on eBay for more than I expected. And I hope it gets to that person because it looks really good. The response has been tremendous. It sounds like there's a lot of real love for the Fallout universe from Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And so if you can get your hands on it, probably in the next reprint, that won't be Christmas, definitely do so. I'll have more thoughts on that after Christmas when I get to open it, because it too is under the tree. And with that, one more thing. This is the time of year when people start putting out their top games of Christmas, top games of 2017. If you're on YouTube, you can check out the Dice Tower, Man vs. Meeple, Shut Up and Sit Down. These are all groups that really kind of put on all year long are entertaining board game reviewers and organizations, but some of them are pretty good. I learned a couple new ones that I didn't even know about that will be on my after Christmas list should I receive any remuneration, etc. And with that, let's get to our question of the week. Okay, so our question of the week is, hey Tim, are there any good Christmas-themed games out there? Well, let me tell you, there are not. It is not, surprisingly, easy to find a Christmas game that's actually decent. Now, there's a lot of party-ish type games. Everyone's got that one. Happy Birthday, Crappy Birthday. Those are ones that are good at Christmas, but a theme, something that actually takes the Christmas theme, no, there's very little. Looking online and looking through my collection, I'm like, there's a lot of things I'd play at Christmas. There's Ticket to Ride, the snow countries and all that stuff, but it's not Christmas themed. There's Christmas-opoly because there's everything-opoly. And it's what you'd expect. And there's a few ones that get kind of a little metaphysical, and they're like Christmas, and here's a soundtrack to go with it, and ooh. None of that fits. But it surprised me because with all the pick up and deliver games there are out there, you would think this would be the one theme that most best fits that. You pick up, you deliver. And yet there aren't. And so I was thinking to myself, what games would be good to be Christmas themed? Runebound, for example. Why not? Why not have an RPG adventure on a board where you fulfill quests. Hey, there's a kid. He's sick. He's got the sniffles. He needs a new kazoo. Such like that. That was one example. I mean, tell me your thoughts. What do you think a game is that we have now would make an excellent Christmas theme that would be maked over to be thematically Christmas contextual? I don't know. That's all I got. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's the question. That's my answer. I wish I had a better one. hopefully in years to come, we'll see more games that kind of have a Christmas theme. I'm sure part of it's so niche because generally you would play Christmas games around Christmas, so maybe it wouldn't have all year appeal. I don't know. And with that, let's get to our 3 games of the week. All right, first off, we have City of Spies. Now I have Deception, which is another game, and I have another game that came out near it that was, what is the name of that game? Covert. Yeah, you can tell my board games are everywhere. Which is an interesting sort of dice-driven game. It's one of a kind, very unusual. City of Spies is different in that you have your series of spies in the town of Estoril, next to Lisboa, and your job is to be the spyiest spy of the spies. Haven't played it yet, just picked it up today from Cool Stuff Inc., and am looking forward to trying it out. It's got a seal of approval, which means nothing to me. I need to put my own seal of approval on stuff, but at least someone out there likes it. So we will find out more about this as I play it, but City of Spies. Next we have a game that I picked up without even really knowing anything about it, called The Expanse board game. Now why, silly man, did I pick this one up? One, Jeff Engelstein. Great stuff. He is the designer of Space Cadets, which is the consummate real-time space simulator, and Space Cadets Dice Duel, which is these are real-time space games, but you need 8 people at least, I think, for Space Cadets to really feel like you're cooking. Everyone has a station, they man their stations. It's the closest thing to like Artemis Space Simulator you're going to get. The Expanse is based on a movie series that I have in my Netflix queue but haven't tried yet. So why? So I have the board, I have a series I haven't tried, and I will watch. I'm going to watch some episodes before I actually get into this game, because it's probably going to, looking at the pictures and seeing if they kind of look like they come right from the game, from the TV series, it's probably best. But the other thing is they name dropped the name. That's right. They name dropped Twilight Struggle and said this was kind of an evolution of Twilight Struggle's gameplay. And that is the kicker, my friends, plus the discount price on Cool Stuff Inc. But once you start throwing down Twilight Struggle, yeah, you've thrown the gauntlet, and I will tell you if you are right or right. Twilight Struggle is the best of the best. Finally, we have a game that took me by surprise, and it has consumed my evenings because it is weird. Really, really weird. It's called Finished by Freedom and Freeze. Freedom and Freeze is weird. I like the guy. Everything he has, his hair, his games, is green. All about the green. Power Grid, Black Friday, Finished, green, or Fabled Fruit. Notice the F's and notice the greens. Finished is a weird premise. Imagine, if you will, that you are someone who is, well, let me just read the box, because it too is weird. It is a typical day at work. Start sorting files and try not to fall asleep. If you require a jolt of caffeine or a rush of sugar, there's a limited supply of coffee tokens and a small stash of sweets to help you complete your tasks and get finished. This is a 48 card game, which seems like, okay, 48 cards, some little tokens of candy, because, candy gets you through the day, fitness incarnate, and this is coffee, although I really need to paint these and put a little steam coming out. The whole point of this is to organize 48 shuffled cards to 1 through 48 before the end of 7 rounds. The end of each round, you drink some Joe, you get some all. That's the game. What is weird about it? It's a bubble sort routine. Programmers that get it, it's really kind of like a bubble sort routine. Each card has the ability to use a special ability if you want to spend one of your sweets. I'll find it later. And so you do that, and you organize it. The idea is you're trying to get everything in order. It really is the most creative, deceptively simple bubble sort. I am about on my 3rd game through. It takes about 45 minutes. It's 1 player only. And once you get through, you start to get a rhythm and go, okay, I'm shifting cards up and down. The special powers are amazing. But yeah, Finished is not yet finished for me. I still have to think about that. I'll probably do a review with it because it is weird. And it is one of the games where the first time you play it, you have no idea how well you did when you're done. You're just like, Then there's a click point. There's always a click point that I'm finding with this kind of game where it's just like, oh, okay, I see how that worked. Remember, I'm a man of simple mind. And so, even though I, know a lot about technical things, certain things are still inescapably simple and yet confound me. So, finished, if you're interested and you like solo games and that's what you do, this is really clever. It's really one of the better solo games. His other game, Friday, is much more thematic and really difficult. This one feels like it's more of a kind of a get into a rhythm and get into emotion, learn what to do, and get through the game. It takes about 30-45 minutes. Even as a single player, you're going to be going through this unless you're really, really good and really fast, which I'm going to aim to be. But that's it for my 3 games of the week. And now we have, lastly, the picture of the week. If anyone can guess that picture, let me know in the comments, and I will congratulate you heartily. And with that, we say thank you, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you at our Weekend Games next week after Christmas. Take care.